that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Hey guys, how you doing today? Hey, I've been sitting on this information since the 8th, and because I didn't know how I wanted to create this video. Now, because of the nature of this video, I need to make some disclaimers here. Okay, I am not a scientist. I do not claim to know exactly what everything I'm about to show you means. I have a lot of questions about it, but due to the nature of censorship these days, and stuff like that, I need to be very, very clear that, I don't know 100% what I am about to disclose to you. If it isn't true, then please enlighten me, help us understand. Don't just tell me I'm wrong, but actually help us understand. Okay, this is my thing. But I'm going to say this right off the bat. These are observations I made for myself just looking at data. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, how to start this. And this is the most difficult part of making this video, was how to start this. A while back, I made a video talking about nitrous oxide and how there's elemental forces that we are not allowing to be part of the conversation. And I explained that the sun is currently in a active solar cycle. Well, on February 7th, there was a solar flare that hit the Earth. It was actually a pretty significant one. Knocked a little bit of ham radios out and stuff like that. It was a pretty significant one. Okay. When it hit the Earth, it was supposed to have hit between Australia and South America. That's what was reported. Okay. Now, I decided I was going to look into the outer extremities of where it would have hit. So I looked at Perth, Australia, and Buenos Aires, South America. Okay, because if it's between South America and Australia, well, those are the outer edges of this. And I decided to look at temperatures. Now, when I look at the temperatures, just look at this. When I look at the temperatures for Perth, Australia, okay, over the history, the last couple of years, you can see this year on February 8th, the day after the solar storm hit, look at the temperature variance. Okay, now let's look at Buenos Aires. Look at that temperature difference. That's a 9-degree difference on the average for this time of year. Well, for that day of the year, whatever, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just looking at data here. Okay? And to me, that just seems like, holy crap. And the reason I went to look at the outer edges is because when you look at our magnetosphere and what its job is, it's to reflect solar flares and solar winds and such, like this. So I decided to look at the outer edges because figuring the curvature that it creates, yes, the solar wind can punch through, but it's still going to be pushed off to the side, okay? And due to the prevailing winds, which you can see here, it's not surprising to me that Buenos Aires would actually get a stronger impact than Perth would, because prevailing winds pushes it towards the east. So all of a sudden we got another hit. Another solar flare hit the Earth on February 12th. Okay? It was even bigger than the last one. type X, I think they called it. The first one, I think it was type M. I'm not sure. There's only so much research I can do on this stuff, okay? I'm not a scientist. Hell, if I told you about my educational background, you'd probably all stop watching me. Anyway, so we got hit with an even bigger one, okay? And I'm still looking at Bonas Aries, and I'm just like, is there any correlation to, the solar activity and the Earth warming up when I look at this stuff? Like, I'm not trying to say that, humans don't have an impact, but why isn't this part of the conversation as well? Part of what the solar storm or solar flare X is high UV impacts on Earth. Well, what happens when you stand out in the sun on a hot summer day and you get lots of UV rays? You get burned, right? Your skin burns. It boils. It creates, that's why we use sunscreen, so that we don't have that problem. So when I look at this and I see these temperature variants on an average over the last several years, it really makes me question when a solar flare hits the Earth in the same spot, and you see such magnitude temperature variance, are we really getting a whole story on this? And the reason I'm talking about this right now is because our carbon tax went up in January, and they're talking about raising it again in April. So we keep paying the price for nature doing nature things. This is not normal, not unusual. The sun goes through these phases every 7 years. I think it's 7 years. Yeah, 7 years, I do believe it was that I looked up last time. Anyway, I'm going to leave this with you. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. If I'm wrong, please, by all means, show me why I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm just wrong. We need to have full conversations, not just partial ones based on one particular side of a view. Welcome to the Fringe.